who you get married to is one of the biggest decisions that you will make in your life.
Non-Christians, when they follow the biblical principles
Yeah.
of marriage, their marriage tends to work.
Yeah.
It prospers.
And then you begin to meet people.
Okay, we're gonna go there.
Let's be for real, girl.
We're gonna go there.
Nah, let's be 100.
Okay, we're gonna go there.
Let's
I
keep
thought we're not gonna go there.
We should never
I don't
go
wanna go
there.
Okay, you start meeting people and people start meeting you.
Girl,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
How many times did they tell you to love your own wife? Your own wife? How many times did they tell you to love your own wife? Hi guys,
Hello, people.
and welcome back to In the Now podcast.
Welcome, guys.
We are your hosts. My name is Signorina.
And my name is Praise.
We're friends and we talk about life, we talk about family, faith, relationships, self-development.
Yes.
What else do we talk about?
Everything she just said.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talk about how to live in the now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While planning for the future. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Because people tend to forget that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And today also we want to talk about something like that. Planning for the future. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you very much. I have to ask you, how are you doing?
Oh my God, thank you so much for asking.
Usually you're a hater when I ask you, how are you doing?
Today I'm feeling myself.
Why?
Guys, I know I look cute today.
Thank you very much. Calm down. We have to be humble too. You look good. But
No,
calm down.
can we just appreciate the work of the Lord?
Let's appreciate it.
It is marvelous in our sights.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys. I know.
Before we start recording, she's just taking pictures of herself.
See, I need to, keep memories. Make
Yeah, that's true
memories.
because
Whatever.
Yeah, that's true because sometimes this is what today's topic is about marriage.
Oh yeah.
Marriage.
Yeah.
And I keep telling you sometimes, you have to zhuzh it up. You need to change a few things, especially around the house.
First of all,
On the looks.
that sounds like
She is a friend of oversized tees.
that sounds like an
And-
insult.
And I don't know, as much as we all like oversized stuff, right? Everybody like that.
Yeah.
But it's not every day.
Well, I think my husband will love me in my oversized
He will,
t-shirts.
but I think he will also love you in some other things than oversized tees. Thank you very much. If we're being for real, when you listen to people that talk about marriage, that talk about even Christians, preachers, and everything, they always talk about you having to continue to date each other.
That is so true.
Not losing yourself.
That's so
I
true.
think that's the point of everything, that you don't lose yourself.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Today's topic is marriage. Why do we feel like this topic is important? Why do we keep talking about this topic?
Girl is très important.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah. So
It's very important.
Honestly, because for real, apart from
Talk to me.
thank you so much for that. Apart from your career, and for example, if you're a Christian, apart from giving your life to Jesus, who you get married to is one of the biggest decisions that you will make in your life. And even people that end up not getting married or maybe cohabiting with someone,
Yeah.
that person influences their life so much.
Yeah.
It's like your entire life revolves around this person, whether we admit it or not.
Yeah.
So the topic of marriage and who you get married to is super important.
Yeah.
Because it can literally, for some people, is the thing that determines if they live long or not. Because
It's true. It's true.
Side notes, most people that get killed are killed by their
Partners.
romantic partners.
Yeah,
So unfortunately. So yeah. That's my take.
Yeah. That's crazy actually. But yeah, that's true, and that's statistics, But I think the reason why we keep talking about marriage is because we were also told about marriage quite early on. But not only that, I think that we just took it as something very valuable and something very important.
That's so true, actually.
Yeah, because I don't think we had to grow up with the mindset of who you marry is very, very important. We were just, I think when you're in Christian circles anyway, we tend to talk about marriage a lot,
Yeah.
and emphasize on marriage and its importance, and also because it reflects Christ and his bride.
Girl, you're going. You're going into the deep end. But
Exactly. And because of that, because of what it signifies, it's easy for us to talk about marriage in the church, in Christian circles, and everything. And I think because of that, or out of that also, we have seen marriage as such an important thing.
Yeah.
But then I think we also took it step further in a way that we really wanted to know what is marriage and why is it important? How do you have a successful marriage? If 50% of the marriages are failing, what are rest of the 50 doing?
Unfortunately, more than 50.
It's probably more than 50, but it's there. So it's like 1 out of 2.
It's insane.
I know, it's actually insane. And then also, I guess sometimes we can talk about divorce, or we find a person who has gone through divorce, so we can have that discussion with them. But still, like, what divorce is and how it affects the life of a person. So 1 out of 2 who have been married and divorced are walking out there like quite like broken, because you can't say that marriage doesn't, like, or the end of marriage doesn't break a person.
It's like a death.
Yeah, it is a death.
It's a death of something that you thought would be forever.
Yeah, and that affects a person. So if half of the people that have been married and are divorced are just walking out there, it means that we have a lot of people that have a lot of baggage and a lot of brokenness as well. I think that that's also one thing to take note of and understand. And also, when we have so much brokenness, out there, and people that have gone through a lot of things, when they raise their voices and talk about marriage, usually their voice tends to be louder than of those whose marriages are actually successful and people who are thriving.
That is so true.
Yeah, so we are having more examples of bad marriages and why marriage doesn't work, why it's a scam, why women are the ones suffering in marriage, why marriage is only beneficial for the man. So many things because of like that statistic thing. Because
That's so good. That's so good. Something pops into my head while you were speaking, but I've forgotten about it. I think it's the like, I think one of the reasons why we have so many examples of bad marriages and social media is literally full of toxic marriages and relationships. I think the ones with the good marriages are like, peace out.
They're minding their business.
They're in their houses, cuddling, having movie nights. They're out there
enjoying
in the streets having date nights, and they don't care to post. They don't care to seek for validation for people. And they're thriving. But I think there's a place of just not so much like putting your life out there, but just putting it out there that this is an option. I think that's really important for the generation that is coming up, the current generation and the next one. It's important for you to see it, because what you have not seen, you can't even conceive in your mind as an option. I have a friend that wants to get married, and then they have this other friend that comes from a broken house. They saw their father leave, and like on a very bad terms, like and so they don't have anyone around them that is in a healthy marriage. And so they themselves, like, they're just pretty much like sleeping around and just living the life, enjoying, so to say.
Unquote.
Which is not really enjoyment, but that's by the way. So anyway, so this other friend was like, I want to get married. And he was like, oh, why do you want to get married? Like, like, you should just enjoy your life. It's because, it's not because it's trying to be a hater. It's not because it's trying to bring the other person down, but he genuinely doesn't believe in marriage. Because he has not seen a good example of marriage. So that's why I think it's really important for those that have good marriages and have thriving relationships to just be a bit more open. Don't tell us everything, but just show us that, this relationship is working, so that we can have it in our head that it's possible.
It exists. Yeah. That's really good. And I think not just in marriage, but I feel like we have just had this like mindset when it comes to life and just living, showing always like the good example, not because I necessarily have or feel a responsibility of having to show like a good example. I don't really care about that. It's just the way that I live my life. But if people see or look at me and be like, oh, this girl is doing good in her life and everything. That's like good. If my life can encourage somebody, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we've just taken that type of mindset when it comes to life, showing like the good, showing that good things are possible and you can, have these things. And I feel like we have the same mindset when it comes to marriage. Obviously,
Yeah.
we are not married yet, and we are on our way there.
Yeah, first of all,
Yeah.
their future husband, I think if you see this video, you should propose by now. Hello.
Is he gonna watch this?
That's what I'm saying. If you see this video at any point,
Because I think our audience is
any
more like
point-
women, but
don't say that. Don't stop my blessing.
okay, I shouldn't stop her blessing.
Dear future husband, if you see this video at any point
Whoever you
in
might
your
be.
life, please, this is your cue to propose. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're deviating.
Oh, sorry.
Exactly. But anyway, I think that this topic of marriage is something, or the reason why we're having this discussion is, first of all, it's something that we always discuss amongst
True.
ourselves. If you
True.
read a book that is beneficial, we always, tell each other about that. If you listen to a sermon that is really good, we refer it, or any like short video, short form clip. We always refer it to each other because obviously I want to have a successful marriage and I know that you want to have a successful marriage.
And can I just say that
Yeah.
our passion for marriage and having a good marriage is not just a fantasy.
Yeah.
Because I think most girls fantasize about getting married, fantasize about their white, pretty dress and the handsome husband that they will marry one day. But not many people actually put in the work. Not many people understand that they have to do some work to achieve a good marriage. So I think that's the difference between us and a random girl fantasizing about marriage.
Yeah.
Because we've been actually
Working.
intentionally preparing for marriage, reading books, watching the sermons, watching
Having
all the
conversations with
videos,
people.
having conversations with people, learning,
Yeah.
and just kind of seeing everything as a learning opportunity.
Exactly.
So that's
Just a disclaimer.
that's a disclaimer.
Yeah,
Go on.
and that's a good one, and I think that's really really important. And I feel like when you are looking at marriage, you can't just look at the wedding because that's an event. It's just a one-day thing.
Preach
right?
it.
But then marriage on its own is completely different, and like
Sorry to interrupt you
Yeah.
again. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Can we just establish that if you get married pretty young, you would have been married more than you've lived before you got married?
I know
So
that's
people,
amazing, actually.
people.
Getting married young. Thank you very much. A lot of people, even these relationship coaches and everything, they be telling people that if you find your person, marry young. The benefits are way better.
Yep.
And also like just the benefits of marrying right, it can really take your life to the next level.
True.
And just, change your finances, change everything. Like these are statistics. Go and read about them. Just Google stuff. Because also this is the thing. We just be knowing statistics because we just look at these things and we read things.
Yeah,
and blah,
so
blah, blah.
don't come in the comment section asking me where you said these things.
Just
Prove
Google it.
Go and
Look for it.
Look for it.
Thank you very much. You will actually find it because it's there. We're not talking about something that doesn't exist. It really does.
Yeah.
But anyway, marrying young, that's very, very important. But my point was...
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you cut me off. It's cool. But anyway, something about preparing for marriage, because we don't focus just on the wedding. And I don't think we've even... I think it's recently that we have been talking about more like wedding stuff because you see more wedding content and things like that. But we have always focused on the actual marriage, and I think someone once told us that our friendship is really important because it teaches us how to become wives in the future.
That's true.
Because even in your friendship, you have to learn how to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to compromise. You have to learn how to humble yourself. Learn how to ask for forgiveness and actually forgive.
Yeah.
And learn how to bear like each other and each other's weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because you know that, okay, this is your own insecurity.
That's true.
I don't go there and I don't touch that area, and then also how I talk about you in public places, for example, or vice versa. All these lessons that we are learning about like in our
Just
friendships that
human interaction and
thank
human
you
relationship.
that applies so much in marriage, and these are the things that can, like when people say like little things, but
Yeah.
those little things, they will eventually become big things, you know, because if we just take it to the basics, we take it to like normal human relationships, friendships and everything. If there is, for example, disrespect, in the long run it's going to affect your friendship. It's just a fact. So there are basics that we need to learn.
Shall we take it back to the Bible?
Yeah, because if we're
Let's
going to talk
take
about
it back
marriage,
to the beginning.
if we're going to talk about marriage, we need to talk about the Bible.
Yeah, so full disclaimer, we are Christians.
Yeah, of course.
You can have your own opinions. That's
Yeah.
cool. We love you, sis, bro. But we're Christians and we believe that marriage is something that God created.
Yeah.
Before, like literally after making human beings, the next thing that he made was marriage and union and companionship
Yeah.
and oneness.
Yeah. And can we just, God said it is not good for man to be alone.
Come on. Come on.
It's not good for man to be alone. And
Yeah.
obviously I don't think it's just marriage.
It's not about marriage.
In general.
Because there was only literally one man on earth.
Exactly. And that tells you something. All this
Yeah.
isolation, all that type of stuff.
Stop
It
that.
is not good for man to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And if God is saying that, it holds an incredible value
Yeah.
and incredible weight. God is saying it's not good for you to be alone.
Your creator, your maker,
Yeah.
is telling you that, listen.
And he said unto Adam that I will make you a helpmate. Or helpmeet.
Helpmeet, I think,
Whichever one. Anyway,
Yeah.
English.
Help suitable for Adam.
Yeah. Somebody that fits this man.
So
He's
good.
going to make Eve to fit Adam. Anyway,
So good.
we're going to read from the Bible. Praise can read
So,
for
so,
us.
so good.
Genesis chapter 2.
Okay, so we're going to read from Genesis 2 from verse
Is it 18?
24, actually.
What does it say
what's
in 18?
What's in 18? Oh, you know what's up, girl.
Of course I know what's up.
So in 18 it says, and the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. Out of the ground the Lord formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. So Adam gave names to all cattle, to the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a help comparable to him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And Adam said, this is now the bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother, and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, and the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
Thank you.
There is so much to unpack. I'm not a preacher. If this was a sermon,
Right?
girl, there
We
is
could
so
cut
much
this into
to
10,
unpack.
15, 20 parts.
Girl.
Seriously.
Yeah, but I think in the context of this video, the
Yeah.
one thing that I'm taking away from this is that one, marriage was God's idea.
Thank you very much.
Two, God thought it fit to give Adam not just a random companion,
Yeah.
not animals.
Because animals are companion. Also, you
Yeah.
can just hang out with your dog.
You can, but it's not a human being.
Thank you very much.
So it says that there was no one found that was literally like can be compatible
Yes.
with Adam, like, you know, as a human being.
Like that suits the man.
That suits him
Yeah.
as a human being. So that's why Eve was made. And then it says, and it shows us that God didn't just make companionship,
Yeah.
because then after it says that a man will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife. So this is no more like just companionship,
Yeah.
like human. Because at the beginning it was like, okay, it's not good for a man to be alone because
Yeah.
Adam is out here in the streets by himself.
Yeah.
Let's give him some other companions, some
Somebody
other
to hang out.
human beings to hang out with.
Yeah.
You know, that was number one. So
Yeah.
it tells us that not everybody will get married. and not everybody's
That's
meant
true.
to get married, but every single person needs companionship.
Yes,
You
human
need
relationships.
you need the companion of other human beings.
Yes.
But then it also shows us that God went further to create marriage.
Thank
And
you.
so now we're talking about husband and wife.
Yes.
And someone said that I stole this from you, that if you want to know the proper use of a thing, go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
If you want to know the original intent for something or purpose of something, go back to the beginning.
Yes.
So I think because this is like literally the beginning,
Yeah.
it tells us what marriage is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that you've maybe grown up with, seen around you, that might not be how marriage is supposed to look like. So here God says that a man will leave his father and mother
Yeah.
and be joined to his wife, and they'll become one flesh, which sounds absurd because they're literally two human beings. How can they be one flesh
one.
if they're two human beings? But that tells us that marriage is something so like mysterious.
It's a
It
mystery.
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense
Yeah,
that
it's
you
deep.
from two different
Backgrounds,
backgrounds,
families.
household, families, two different parents, you come together and you become one. How? That's the beauty of marriage. And
Yeah.
and honestly, I would just define marriage as just oneness. Like
Yeah.
I think for me that really encapsulates what marriage is about.
Yeah.
Oneness. You
Yeah.
leaving your mother, leaving your father, and building a new line, a new generation,
Yes,
a new
a new
heritage,
family.
a new family, and you're just like united as one for no reason other than you chose to commit to this person.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, oneness is really the word because, like what as you read, that two shall become one. That is actually a mystery. And when you see couples that have been married for so long, you're like, these guys, they think alike,
Yeah.
they are alike, and there are just so many like similarities. Although they came from two different backgrounds and two different families and everything, but they've become one, literally, like the Bible says. And I think that's like really beautiful about marriage, and also what it says that a man will leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. The way that the way that I think about my mother, I think about my father.
Yeah.
Our children will think about us that same way.
That's crazy.
I think we had this conversation before.
Yeah.
That when you have those shady uncles and aunties,
Yeah.
and sometimes you give advice to your parents, you're like, these shady uncles and shady aunties and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Imagine that one day our children will also do the same to us.
That's
Talk to us
crazy.
and be like, oh, mom, this and that. Our kids will see us like, because we're their parents, right? Our kids will see us as mother and father.
Yeah.
And the only way that they are able to see us as that is because two people decided to leave their parents, or actually the man, but anyway, and come together as one and create this new family.
That's crazy.
I don't know if people really understand what I'm like, what I'm after, but the
Yeah.
reason why we can say my nuclear family is because two people left their own homes and came together.
Insane.
And then because think about it, because your mom could be like about her mom, that this is my nuclear family
Yeah,
with my
yeah,
siblings
yeah.
and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But she also left her family
That's crazy.
and started a new family, and which is you guys. So like marriage is such a mystery, and it just shows the continuation of life. How things are supposed to move forward, and and change. And I think when we talk about marriage and when we have these conversations, one thing is important for you to understand is that you are creating something new.
Yeah.
You are creating something.
Leave the old things behind.
Thank you very much.
Don't carry no baggage into that
Thank
new
you very
space,
much.
new
Because
family.
and this is the thing, when people say that I've never seen a good example of marriage, I've never had that, it's possible for you to be the first to create something beautiful, even if you did not see it.
Come on.
And we've talked about this before as
Yeah.
well. Because even if you've never had the perfect picture of what marriage is actually supposed to look like,
Yeah.
not the idea of marriage or
No.
not what you've seen on social media or whatever, but what marriage is actually, like you said, that oneness,
Yeah.
two people coming together, creating that life, being each other's support. Like you are not supposed to be as close to your spouse with anybody else.
No.
No one else should be as close to you as your spouse.
Yeah.
Like that's literally it. And what you said or what you read in the Bible, it says that they were naked and unashamed. So everything is like open with your
So
spouse.
beautiful.
Everything is open with your spouse. If you like, there should be no secrets, there should be no shame.
Yeah, there should be no shame.
You know, it's like you're with your own person. Like that's marriage, right? And people, you know how people always say, oh, marriage is a piece of paper, it doesn't matter, blah 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 blah. But they don't understand the value of marriage. They don't understand where it originated from. They don't go back to Genesis. They don't go back to the beginning. And they don't understand that God is the one who created marriage. This is God's idea. God wanted us to have this kind of connection.
Yeah,
right?
and they don't understand that what they're afraid of, it's what they're seeing.
Yeah.
It's not the real thing.
Yeah.
Because this is like the ideal situation. This is what God meant marriage to be like.
Yeah.
Where you come together with someone and you are literally one. And you can be completely yourself, completely naked in every aspect of life and not feel any shame.
Yeah.
Because this other person literally sees you as themselves. Like that's what it means to be one.
Yeah.
That like you see
They love you the way that
they love themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the ideal, but we are so afraid because of what we're seeing in the world. The reality doesn't match quite. It doesn't quite match what marriage is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And so that's why people are so afraid to go into it. But if you would make this your goal,
Yeah.
you can
Go
have
back to the
you
beginning.
can have something beautiful.
Yeah.
If you strive to get this, the original, not the fake, not the counterfeit, the original. If you can strive to get that, oh my days, you will be a happy girl or a happy man.
Yeah. And you have to get it in your mind because you know how the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so he is. You know, it's in Ecclesiastes or Proverbs.
I don't remember, but one of them.
Anyway, either one. But anyway, as a man thinketh, so he is. I think if you always think about the worst, it's just a fact. People say that. You think about the worst, you think you're not going to be able to have a good marriage, you're not going to be able to have this, you're not going to be able to have that. You are actually not going to have these things.
Come on.
You have to get it in your mind that a good marriage, like good marriages are still out there. And I'm going to be one of those people that will testify and say,
I am going to be one of those. Not some random person.
Exactly. I am going to be one of those people that will have good marriages. And, you know, I can stand as an example and stand as a person that says, yeah, I have a good marriage. And the reason for this is because we went back to the beginning, what Genesis 2 says.
Come on.
You know, because I don't think that there is like any trick that you can pull. Like people that are not Christians, non-Christians, when they follow the biblical principles of marriage, their marriage tends to work. It prospers because these are principles. And this is very important for people to understand. Marriage works because of these principles that are in place. I think Ephesians 5, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you are there. I see that you're there.
Okay, girl. Okay, so Ephesians 5.
We're still in the Bible, guys, because that's where we get this idea.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says in chapter 5, verse 22, wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as also Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, just as the church is subject to Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church, and gave himself for her, that he might sanctify and cleanse her with the washing of water by the word, that he might present her to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle, or any such thing, but that she should be holy without blemish. So husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies.
Clock it and amen.
He who loves his wife loves himself, for no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as the Lord does to the church. For we are members of his body, and of his flesh, and of his bones. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother, and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh.
Thank you very much.
This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let each of you in particular so love his own wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband.
How many times did they tell you to love your own wife? Your own wife? How many times did they tell you to love your own wife? Thank you very much. Because, feminists. Wait
Girl,
a minute. One minute.
you
One
read
minute.
my mind.
One minute. One minute. One
Girl,
minute.
go
One minute.
off.
1 minute.
Go
Feminists.
off. Go off.
People always like to use this place of the Bible that women should submit as though it is a bad thing. Can we talk about that? First of all, you are the one who chooses who you want to marry. You are the one who chooses your head. Why are you choosing poorly and then you have to submit to a man that you don't respect? Hello? First of all, when you get married, marry a man that you respect. Marry a man that you want to submit to. Can we just talk about, when we talk about wanting to be baby girl sometimes, you just want to be pampered. Sometimes I can be a stay-at-home wife. Let's just be for real. Right?
Yes, please.
But you want to have a person that you will allow to take you on a ride. Do you understand this thing? You want to be the passenger princess.
Yeah.
I think that's what submission is.
You can't have two drivers.
You can't have two drivers. Somebody has to hold the steering wheel and somebody has to sit on the passenger seat. And I'm going to sit on the passenger seat. It doesn't mean that you're dumb. It doesn't mean that you don't speak. If somebody's about to take a wrong turn, tell them, hey, is the right exit.
Funny enough, passenger princesses usually are the ones talking in the background, telling you what exit to take,
Yapping
telling you
all the
where
time.
to go, telling you, oh, you missed a red light.
Because the driver is focused on the driving.
Yeah.
So I am the one doing the yapping. The
Yeah.
passenger princess is the one that is talking a lot. So I will never buy the idea that submission is somehow so terrible. We are constantly submitting ourselves to so many things.
Yep.
We're submitting ourselves to law. That's why we're
Yep.
not criminals. We're not out here breaking law. We're submitting ourselves to certain things.
Yeah.
At work, you submit yourself under your boss.
Yep.
Like we constantly submit ourselves to certain things. I get it. This place also has been very bastardized and it has been used awfully.
Yeah,
and,
against women.
Exactly. And the examples are horrible. Sometimes when you hear certain stories, but that's the thing. That's not what marriage is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
That's not what God intended. So that's why we're going back to the beginning because we want to, first of all, help ourselves to understand what is the original intent of God for marriage, and also be able to draw lessons out of that, because you need to actually draw them out and start to build your own marriage in the future, obviously. But it's important.
That's
Anyway,
so good, girl.
Yeah.
You read my mind
Yeah.
because as I was reading this, I was like, oh my God, love your wife.
How
Love
many
your
times?
wife. Love your wife as your own flesh.
Yeah.
Love your wife as your own body. Just as you don't hate your body, just as you nourish your body
it, you take
and
care of
cherish your body, cherish your wife, love your wife. Love, 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 love. The part about women submitting to their husbands was like 2 lines. And then
at the end, respect your husband.
yeah, and then husbands being told to love their wife is like probably like 5 verses.
Yeah.
That tells you as a woman and also as a man in particular that the pressure is on you actually.
In the head.
Hello.
Pressure is over here.
Hello.
Yeah.
If somebody is called to be the head,
To be the leader, to lead.
boy,
You gotta
man,
lead well, sir.
Sir, the pressure is on you. You have more work to do.
You have a lot of work to do.
You have been given more responsibility than
Absolutely,
the
yes.
woman. So women women shouldn't be afraid to submit, because it's like someone that has a good father, and someone is telling you, oh, don't submit to your dad.
Don't respect
don't
your dad.
respect your dad. Your dad hates you. He just wants to put you under him. You would be like, what the heck are you saying? Like, my dad is amazing. He loves
Exactly.
me. He takes care of me. Why wouldn't I respect him?
Exactly.
It's kind of the same thing with marriage. If a man really, really loves
Genuinely
you,
loves you.
oh girl,
Ooh, girl.
I'm sat. Tell me to sit down, and I am sat. I am
I will sit
sat.
down.
I'm seated
I will
down.
sit down. I'll sit down. I'm not even going to talk.
Trust
that's
me,
crazy, but
all the marriages that work
Yeah.
work on this principle.
Yes.
Whether they're Christians or Muslims or atheists,
Yes.
it's that the husband loves the
Preach.
wife
Thank you very much.
and the wife respects the husband.
Yes.
And that's why their marriage works.
You cannot have a marriage if the wife does not respect the husband and the
Every
husband does not love the
man
wife.
wants to be respected.
It's a fact.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Every man wants to feel like a man.
Yes.
He doesn't want to feel like he's the woman in the relationship,
Yeah,
or that you
he's
don't
less.
respect him. Every man wants to be respected, and
Yeah.
every woman wants to be cherished and
Loved.
adored. Every woman wants to be the center of your world. They want to be
your
the thing
attention.
that you think about in the morning, the thing you think about before you go to bed, the thing that you're constantly like longing for. Every woman wants to be that. And so if we can follow these principles, we will be very, 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 very happy.
That's true.
And this doesn't make sense to human beings because as a girl, as a woman, you're like, why should I submit?
Yeah.
Why should it be me? Why can't he submit? Because it goes against like human nature
Yeah, and also
and sin. Also,
yeah.
we
Sorry, I'm about
we
to
are
sing
we
Michael
are
Jackson,
living.
Human Nature.
Go
But
on.
anyway,
Go on.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna sing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm not gonna sing,
Sorry.
but yeah. But anyway, I think also the reason why it's like this, that wives, you have to submit to your husband, you have to respect your husband, is because it's harder for us. It's harder for us. For the men, you know how men are like, oh, they're not romantic, blah, 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 blah. And then you see them be married for 20 years and they're doing exactly the things that they ought to do. Come on, guys, because it's not so like a natural. It's not so easy. These are the things that we are learning.
Yeah.
So when God says that we should do these things, it's because He's teaching us something.
Yeah.
He is actually refining us.
Marriage is meant to sanctify you.
It's meant to sanctify you, and these are the things that actually will sanctify us. Hello,
Yeah.
So it's hard, but it's something that you work towards, and when you actually work towards that, you see that your own life gets better.
Come on.
Seriously, and your own marriage gets better. And I think the thing about God is that He's so amazing that He gave us everything that we actually need, all that we need for life and godliness. He gave us everything, right? And it's like if things fail, it's because of us.
Yeah.
It's our fault.
Yeah.
We can't say that the fault is in the
Marriage.
manual or marriage.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can't say that the fault is in that. The fault is in the person who is handling it.
Yeah.
And like somebody said, I think a preacher said that marriage is the only place where you get the certificate before you have actually like, how does it go?
Marriage is the only school where they give you like
The
a
certificate.
certificate before actually doing the work.
Thank you very much.
Because in normal schools, like you have to do the work,
Exactly.
pass exams,
And
then you get the paper. But in marriage, they give you the paper,
And then they
you
tell you.
sign it, you agree to the terms and conditions, and then you begin the journey.
Exactly. It's a journey.
It's a journey, girl.
Yeah.
I feel my blood pressure rising.
Mine too. There is so many like different directions that we can take this conversation to, because marriage is such a big topic and such a big deal. But I think what we have discussed today, these are like the basics, the fundamental things, the foundational things, that people need to understand, because this is going to be possible, like everything that we have read and said and blah 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 it will be possible when people respect these principles. That's just it, because we can talk about the ideal marriage, but people are not going to be able to experience this ideal marriage if people are not taking into consideration these terms and conditions.
That's so true.
And these principles.
So true.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing as human beings is that if we can just humble ourselves, we'd get a lot of things done.
That's true.
Like someone said that your marriage will work depending on how well you can say I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to learn how to apologize.
And how much you say I love you.
Yeah. Those
Two key words: I'm sorry and I love you.
And somebody said the ABT, always be touching.
Always be touching.
I heard that. Calm down. Chill.
Sorry.
Yeah. But hey, how has your view of marriage changed as you grow older?
Girl, life got real.
Yeah, right? Life is getting real, man.
Yeah.
It's not funny no more.
Because when you're 12, you're like, oh my God. Like,
Don't mind
wedding.
those 12-year-olds.
Like, oh my God, wedding.
Yeah.
Oh my God, white dress.
That's what you care about.
Yeah, and then you grow up, and then you get to maybe like teens. Then you're like, ugh, marriage just seems stressful. Like, what is marriage? And then you grow up a little bit, and you're like, oh my God, I want to get married so badly. Now you've gone from a fantasy point to a reality.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit older, and then you're like, oof.
That.
I need to put in the work if my marriage is going to work. And then you begin to meet people.
Okay, we're going to go there.
Let's be for real, girl.
We're going to go there.
Nah, let's be 100.
Okay, we're going to go there.
Let's
I
keep
thought we're not going to go there.
We should never
I don't want
go
to go
there.
there. We should never go there. Okay, you start meeting people and people start meeting you.
Girl,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Let's-
and people start talking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's keep it 100.
Okay.
You start meeting people,
Oh.
and people will start meeting you. And then you begin to see, oh, this person ain't it. And you start to see character traits, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, this ain't gonna work in a marriage. Or you're like, oh, I like this thing about this person. This would be amazing if my husband was like this.
Yeah, or had that trait.
Or had that trait, you know? And then you also begin to see things about yourself.
It absolutely
And
is.
how you react to people. And you're like, oh, snap, I'm like this. If this was my husband, this wouldn't end well because this was completely like disrespectful the way I just acted.
Yeah.
Like it's just the older you get,
Yeah.
and the more you interact with people, both male and female, you just understand human beings more, and you understand yourself more, and it gives you like this reality check that, okay, girl, work on this, and this, because when you get married, it's not gonna be funny. It's not gonna be cute.
Yeah.
If you actually can't say I'm sorry, if you can't apologize, if you can't let go, if you can't forgive, it's not gonna be funny. You are going to be miserable in that marriage. So yeah. And also meeting people, like I said, you realize that friendship is not the same as marriage. Like marriage is not merely a friendship. It's deeper than that.
It's way deeper than that.
So there are some things you can take from a friend, but as you think about marriage, you're like, oof, I would hate for my husband to do that.
Absolutely.
I couldn't handle that if my husband was doing this.
Because that's the person you live with. That's the person you said I do to. That's the person that you chose.
And you gotta do.
So you have to do. If you say I do, you better do.
That's why it's called I do, because you gotta do.
Yeah, you have to.
You gotta do the work.
Yeah, you have to do. And but that's why I choose well, so you don't have to stress about certain things. And also another thing is that what I'm learning myself is that not like the perfect man that you had in your head does not exist.
Nope.
People say that you are actually the one to like bring that out of the person that you chose.
Yes.
You are the one like creating this dream man that you have in your head.
Yes.
He does not exist. The raw materials are out there, but you are the one to make him to be like that's your person, he will also make you to be like his person.
Yeah.
Like you guys, that becoming of a thing that we talked about, like that. So also I've learned, I'm not saying like lower your standard, but maybe what you are expecting might not be exactly like that. That's the thing. Never lower your standards. I don't think you should. I'm never not going to do that. Just like have your standards up high, and of course you have to make sure that you are also up high.
I think the thing is that maybe your standards ain't it. Your standards are not standards. That's the problem. So you need to just remove the standards.
Oh. Okay.
Some of your standards are not standards.
Yeah. Like
that's
yeah. Because you need to actually know what matters. Because I've always had lists of things. I write things down. I journal and everything. And what I pulled out from my phone right now is I have this like Google Docs that says the name of it is Christian Home, because I want to build a Christian home.
Come on, girl.
I want to have a Christian marriage, Christian home, and just a good one, right? And over here, like throughout the years, I have written down everything that I have learned about marriage. If I've read a book and the book has questions that you should ask your future spouse, I've written it here. If I've listened to a sermon and there has been lessons, I've written it here. If a thought has come to my mind randomly, I've written it here. Conversations with people that are married, everything. I've written everything here. I think I have more than 300 questions when it comes to marriage, like to ask my spouse. I don't know if it's 300 or 600 at this point. Because
I don't know why I'm surprised I knew about this.
I know you actually know about this. And also because I need to write like from which book everything is from.
Yeah.
So I can always trace it back to the original thing.
So what are the tips you can give the people on how to prepare for marriage? How are you preparing for marriage?
I think I've mentioned already a lot of the things that I do. I think one is you have to have just normal friendships, relationships.
Build your friendships. That's good.
And something that came to my mind is that marriage is for mature people. I know that people always say that. And sometimes like in the church when people say that, you laugh because it sounds funny. but it's not funny. You actually have to be mature physically, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, like in all aspects of life, emotionally. You have to be mature, because if you are emotionally immature, you are going to break something valuable in your hands because you couldn't regulate your own emotions.
Sorry, I'm just pissed thinking about someone that is not mature.
I know, it pisses me off too.
I'm already so pissed.
Yeah, so you actually have to be mature. So make sure you're developing yourself in all these areas, because that's like important. Get knowledge as much as you can. You know, read books, listen to sermons, talk to people who are married, who have successful marriages.
Yes.
Try to
Don't talk to people that don't have a successful
yeah,
marriage.
you can sometimes you can like listen just to learn.
Yeah, to learn,
yeah,
but they can't be your advisors.
they can't.